Tribe, I want to talk to you about something. And this isn't going to be your cliche video about giving up. Don't give up. But I couldn't sleep. It's like 2 a.m. I actually made myself a coffee at 2 a.m. So if you're like me and you happen to be watching this video at 2 a.m, I'm with you. Make yourself a cup of coffee and listen to this video. But when we think about giving up, isn't it such a weird emotion? Like when you really stop and think about it, isn't it a weird emotion? That's what I want to kind of dissect here. Not so much, don't give up, hang in there. Okay, you're so close. Okay. You already know that. You understand? I'm assuming like you watched other things. You already know. People, you maybe had hundreds of people tell you. Maybe you watched 100 videos. And they all say the same thing. Okay, that's not bad. On the whole topic of giving up, it's not bad to say, hey, all the greats, all the ultra successful has had the deep, deep feeling of just throwing in the towel. You understand? Then when we tie in success and manifesting in there, you always hear, don't give up because you're this close. You're toe to toe with what you want. You're like this, you just can't see it. You understand? Everything's invisible. We wish we could see it, but we can't. Okay, I know you've heard this stuff. Okay, you're toe to toe. You're against your fear barrier. Okay, you're this close to your dream life, and this is where people stop. This is where people throw in the towel. This is where people give up. I know you've heard all this stuff. Okay. And lots of times, to be honest with you, sometimes we got to re-listen. We need to hear it again and again and again to keep us in the game. That's not bad. You know what I mean? But I was just sitting here, and for whatever reason, I kind of woke up and I was kind of tossing and turning, and it's just a weird emotion came in the middle of the night. I just had this weird emotion, kind of like stress and scared, wanting to throw in the towel, not knowing what's going on. And I started thinking about giving up. That started going in my mind. You know what I mean? And even for me, everything I told you in this video, I kind of repeated in my head. And I actually got up because I had a stomach ache. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but hey, that's what eventually got me up. The two feelings of I had a tummy ache and my mind was in the gutter. Then I made myself a cup of coffee. Then I just started thinking, isn't it weird? The whole emotion of giving up. That's what I want to talk to you about. Isn't it such a weird emotion? You want to give up. And when you start asking yourself questions, you know what I mean? Just like any emotion. If you're sad, angry. Like if you're angry at somebody, you might have a friend ask you, well, why are you angry? What happened? You start dissecting it. What did the other person do? You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, I started doing that. I had this immense feeling of giving up. And for some reason, I started asking myself those questions. Like why? Why do I want to give up? Okay. And the answers coming to me was kind of a little bit different. Okay. Like lots of times when we want to give up, that's why I say giving up is such a Really weird emotion. Because when you really want to give up, isn't it true? Okay, I'm not trying to talk for you, not trying to think for you, but isn't it true that, like, when you start asking yourself, why? Why do you want to give up? Maybe think about that right now. Why do you want to give up? No matter what you want in life, no matter what you're going after, no matter what the reason is giving up. Okay. It could be something you're chasing your dream life, you're trying super hard, you're working, trying to make it happen, and nothing's happening. You know what I mean? And most of the time, listen guys, most of the time, when you have that need of giving up, you ask yourself this question: why? Why do I want to give up? Why am I feeling this way? You know, the answer that comes to me is something like that, something tied to that. Well, I've been I've been putting in the time, putting in the work. I've been trying to make this stuff happen for several years, and it's just not happening. It's not going my way. I don't know what else to do. It's usually something like that. Maybe a little bit different. Maybe it's a relationship for you. You're trying. And that's why this emotion is so tricky, because it's really coming, like, when you really have that emotion to give up, it's really tied to, listen guys, it's really tied to you're trying too hard. Isn't it true? When you have that raw emotion of giving up, isn't it true? When you dissect it, when you ask yourself the right questions, I'm just tired of trying. I'm tired of tired of trying to force things to happen, tired of trying to make things happen, tired of acting like I have it all put together, just tired. Okay? You see, sometimes when we see this, sometimes besides giving up, it's really an emotion. Like, when you want to give up anymore, the more I've had like an emotion, like a strong emotion to give up, and I fight through it. Listen, guys, and that emotion comes back of giving up, and I fight through it. I stay in the game. It comes back. And it keeps on coming back, and it keeps on coming back. Then you start asking the question of, why does it keep on coming back? You understand? I fight through it, and it comes back again. I fight through it, that emotion comes back again. Now, there could be many weeks involved. It could be months involved, but it comes back. That giving up feeling comes back and comes back and comes back. But what if? I'm not telling you what to do. But what if the whole emotion of you giving up is because you having it, or having that emotion, if I could talk, of giving up, it's really communicating to you the deeper meaning of it, or that deeper meaning of that raw emotion. Maybe it's communicating to you that you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to make everything work. Okay. And even though with success and manifesting, you already know this stuff. You already know this stuff, baby. You already know that. Isn't it weird? The harder you try, it seems like nothing goes your way. And the less you try, the less you care. It just seems like everything falls into place. Isn't it weird? Like that stuff happens. And if you're old enough, okay, you can easily look back at your life and agree with me. You can easily look back and say, that's exactly true. That's exactly true, Chad. Like every time I really try to force things to happen, really in there, it just seems like it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And in other moments and other times when I'm just carefree, don't care, maybe I'm busy, that's why I have that mindset. It doesn't matter. It just seems like everything just clicks. You know what I mean? But maybe, I'm just saying maybe, even me, I'm throwing myself in there because I'm 100% honest. Like I woke up, even though it was a stomach ache, but the first thing that woke me up, besides my stomach, was I just had this immense feeling of giving up again. Throwing in a towel. You know what I mean? And that's what led me into this talk and doing this video. Because I started dissecting this emotion, not to sound like a robot, repeat myself, because maybe you need to hear it again. Maybe I need to hear it again. Is the giving up emotion, just in my opinion, the state I'm in right now, is it's happening for a reason. You have this emotion for a reason because you're trying so hard. You're trying so hard to make your life work. You're trying so hard to live your dream life, no matter what it is. You're trying too hard. And when you try too hard, you create friction, my friend. You create friction, you create force, and guess what? Force negates. Force keeps things from you. So what if you're having this raw emotion of giving up, but what it's really trying to do for you, like it doesn't want you to give up. It doesn't want you to throw in the towel. God don't want you to give up and throw in a towel. But what's happening is it just wants you to surrender to it. Just surrender and just let it be. We kind of basically release that death grip you have around it. I think that's more of a deeper meaning. What it's really trying to do, what it's really trying to communicate to you is for you to release it. Not give up, but just to release it. The reason why you feel like giving up, you feel like throwing in a towel, you feel like burning down everything you've created. And the reason why you feel that way is because you're trying to control everything. What's the opposite of control? You surrender to it. You surrender and say, what's ever going to happen is going to happen. Maybe. I'm not trying to be a guru in this stuff. And I've been doing this stuff for a long time. But it doesn't make me a master, baby. But just what if that's the real core meaning to this raw emotion of giving up? It doesn't really want you to give up, but the reason why you feel like giving up, because it's really trying to force you into you surrendering to it. You finally surrendering to what you want. You're surrendering to your dream life. Makes you think, huh? Because when you think about it, I don't want this to be a marathon video. A lot of my videos are marathon videos. Because sometimes once I start talking about this, I just love talking about it. But if we treat giving up like any other emotion, you're angry, you had an argument, you would ask yourself these questions. Your friends would ask you, well, why are you angry? What happened? You start dissecting a feeling. You know what I mean? That's what you'd be doing to get kind of to the root cause of the feeling, right? But maybe I should have said this in the beginning of the video. Say this a different way. What's the root cause of giving up? What's the root? I mean, why are you having this emotion? When you go into the root, it's because you're trying too hard. You want it too bad. And it's okay. Listen, guys, it's okay to try. When you're dealing with gunk in your life, you're dealing with the dream life, you're dealing with living life on your terms. You're trying to make things happen for you, okay, no matter what it is. It's easy to get tied to this. It's easy to have a death grip on it. And you try, and you're trying to try, and it just seems like the harder you try, the more you try, the opposite ends up happening. You know what I mean? And you don't want the opposite to happen. And I know I'm repeating myself, but when this weird feeling creeps in of giving up, and some of you out there, you throw in a towel, you do give up. You know what I mean? When you give up, you never know what's going to happen. You never know the outcome. Sometimes life is weird, and okay, it takes you as far as you can possibly go before your life turns around. I'm always then when the giving up creeps in, it's another way of just forcing you guys. Listen, just forcing you into. This is trying to make you see. I think that's kind of what the emotion is. It's trying to make you see what you're doing. It's trying to make you see that you have a death grip on it. You have a death grip on your life. And it doesn't want you to give up. It just wants you to surrender to it. It just wants you to release that death grip. Let it be. Let it flow. Stop controlling it so much. Maybe this video helps you. Maybe even share this video with other people that's going through stuff. Maybe I'm explaining it a way that you never heard before. Okay? And I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've even thought about it this way. Because most of the time it's like I have that success and manifesting mindset. Well, you're this close. You're this close to your dream life. You're this close to what you want. Don't throw in the towel yet. But, that's an angle to look at it. That's true. That's 100% true. But as I wrap up this video, for whatever reason, I had this strong emotion of giving up. I started asking myself, why do I have this emotion? Why? I started to try to dissect it. And of course I know why. Trying hard, putting in the time, trying my hardest to make things work. Then I saw it. See, the whole thing of giving up, the immense feeling of giving up, is just trying to make you surrender to it. Let it be. Let it go. You're not giving up. You're just surrendering to it. You're releasing that control. You're not worrying about it no more. You're just letting bygones be bygones. Whatever happens, happens. It doesn't mean you don't care, okay? But you're releasing that control. It doesn't mean you stop working on what you want. It just means you release the control. You release the friction in your mind, the force in your mind that you have to keep it all together. That's all you're doing, my friends. But anyway, just want to share that with you. I'm going to talk about 20 minutes about it. And I know I've kind of repeated myself several times, and I don't want to do it a fourth time. And I got to finish my coffee. It's probably like 2:30 in the morning right now. Oh, yeah, baby. Chad's not going to sleep. If you have questions about this, comment below. We're chatted up in the comments and stuff like that. I just want to share this with everybody. You know what I mean? Because I know 100% what it feels like to go after your dream life. You understand? See, and that's the important thing. When other people's living their dream life, and that's what you want to do. No matter if you want to do different things, we all don't want the same thing. But when people's really doing what they want to do, living life in their terms, living their dream life, okay, even if you don't see it, even if they've never shared it with you, okay, they've been through a gunk phase. They've been through a scared phase. They've been through phases where they want to give up a million times, but they don't. Okay. That's what you got to understand. With anybody ultra successful doing anything, all of them have all the raw feelings that you're going through right now. Okay, my friends. So don't give up. Hang in there. Ask yourself the right questions. Why are you having this emotion? Why are you having this really weird, raw emotion of giving up? And maybe the answer will shock you and surprise you. Maybe it will be just like what I'm telling you. It's just trying to force you to surrender. Not give up, not throw in a towel, but surrender. Let it go. Release that death grip that you have around it. Right now, honestly, right now, no matter what you want in life, you feel like giving up, it's literally like you're a jiu-jitsu expert, you're a judo expert, and you have what you want in a chokehold. And you're the master of chokeholds, baby. And you're not letting go. You got that chokehold locked in, and you're not releasing it. You got to release it. Okay, my friends? But anyway, tribe, remember I love you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.